Ciao, welcome to play with me Tiny Epic Dungeons. I'm Alessandro if you don't know me, and today we're gonna play this game, but first of all, we're gonna learn a little bit how it works. So we're gonna learn how to win, how to lose, a little bit of a rules overview, and then we're gonna jump into the playthrough because some stuff is better learned while playing, I guess. So sorry about the delay on my face camera and the shadow on my face. And this is what I have right now. I could just hide myself. You've seen me, but maybe I'm gonna hide myself later. Anyways, some notes before we start digging into the game. First thing is, if I make any mistakes, they will be noted in the Klingon subtitles channel, so feel free to turn it on if you want to catch any mistakes. And if you see any mistakes that I've made, please comment them in the comment section below, and I will make sure to add them in the Klingon subtitles channel as soon as possible. Second thing is, we're on YouTube, so if you wanna, like this video, subscribe to my channel, even activate notifications whenever I post more videos. I'm not gonna do just this Tiny Epic Dungeon game, I'm gonna do more. I would be forever grateful. So yeah, thank you for watching anyways. And I guess that's more or less it. Yeah, let's see how the game plays. So first of all, we're gonna be playing solo. Solo, you can play with as many characters as you want. This game is up to 4 characters. So 4 heroes, let's call them, okay? And we're gonna be playing as Grok, and which is half orc barbarian. He's gonna be our axe. And then we're gonna have Gerrund Blue, who's gonna be the ancient wizard, so stronger on spells and stuff like that, Um, so these are 2 characters, and how do you win this game and how do you lose this game? Well, winning this game is pretty straightforward. You delve into the dungeon, at some point you're gonna be able to find the boss. The boss is behind this mat, and you're gonna be able to reveal the boss, okay? You can see some iconography on here. It says 1 or 2 helmets, which means 1 or 2 players, you need to fill these 2 hard spots, basically. That delay is gonna go away soon, I hope. And then once you have filled these 2 spots, you can actually find the lair, which is this card here, and then be able to enter the boss lair. That we're gonna see it later, hopefully, if we don't lose before. How do you fill these 2 spots here? Well, we're gonna have 2 minion cards, 2 minion locations, which are these 2. I had a little bit too many. So whenever we find these, we're gonna spawn a minion. A minion is one of these cards here. I shuffled some of these decks here. And once we fight this minion and we kill the minion, we can place one of the hearts here, okay? So once we fight 2 minions, which is all the minions that we're gonna have in our dungeon, we can proceed and find the lair and kill the boss. So that's how you win, basically. How do you lose the game? Well, your characters don't ever die. They can become unconscious if they lose all the health they have, but they never die. So the ways to lose are easy. Either this torch goes until this spot, and this torch is gonna move each turn down, so this is gonna be our timer. Or you can see there are 4 meeples here. These are goblin meeples. They have a number here. This is a 4, but we have the numbers 1 to 4. If we ever need to spawn a 5th goblin, and well, we can't, so we immediately lose. The goblins are these cards here, which are green, and we're gonna see them doing the playthrough, okay? So that's pretty much how it works. There's another way you can lose, which is this is our entrance, and from this entrance the dungeon can go 3 cards up, 3 cards down, 3 cards left, and 3 cards right. So we can have cards are rooms basically. You can have a 7 by 7 grid of rooms, but if you ever need to, if there's no way for you to spawn more rooms, then you lose immediately. That usually doesn't happen. Like, it's very hard, I think, to make it happen. So that's not gonna be too much of a concern. The concern is mostly the torch, to be honest. Yeah, I think that this is pretty much it. We can have a look at our characters, I think, now. By the way, characters have 2 stats. This is very delayed. I think I need to switch off my face camera to make it be better. Let's try that if it doesn't work. So I disappeared now. You don't need to see me. So this is our character, our half-orc barbarian, and basically there are 3 skills in this game. There is strength, agility, and intelligence, I think. And this is the number of dice that whenever our half-orc barbarian means to make that kind of skill, how many dice he rolls. So 3 for strength, 2 for agility, 1 for intellect. You can up or down this amount of dice for the skill tests, but only up to 3. So you can only go up to 3 dice, never more than 3. So strength cannot be buffed. Then our Grok has 3 movement, as you can see from here, and he has 2 armor. We're gonna see what this means in a second. All characters have these 2 abilities. We're gonna see what this means anyways. And then they have 2 built-in abilities in here on their hands. So each character can hold 2 hand items, 2 spells, 2 trinkets, and 1 armor piece. And these are called loot. You're gonna find, most of them are loot except the spells, which are spells, and you're gonna find them while delving into the dungeon. Also, each character has a specific ability for themselves, and this is the specific ability for Grok, which is called Battle Rage. On the left, you have the counter for health. On the right, you have the counter for something called Focus. We're gonna see how all of this works. Now we can have a quick look at our mage, the ancient wizard called Gerrund the Blue. He also has 3 movement. He has 4 armor, so he's stronger in armor. He has 1 strength, 2 agility, 3 intellect or intelligence. These are the same skills as I said. These 2 here are the same skills as I said before. Different abilities here for our wizard, so we're gonna look at them. Definitely different ability, the magic arrow, because that's specific for this character. All the characters can hold the same amount of items, so 2 spells, 2 trinkets, 1 armor, and then 5 health and 8 focus. So this wizard is focused, while Grok is more health focused kind of hero. Okay. So one important thing that I want to show you before we actually delve into the game, because I want to show this. First of all, this game is heavy on iconography. So I can't really go around and explain you what every icon means, because you're gonna forget in a second. So we're gonna go through them while we play. But what I want to show you is how to set up the deck that will build our dungeon. Okay, so everybody starts at the entrance, so I'm gonna place our 2 heroes here at the entrance. This is the entrance of the dungeon. And then you need to build the dungeon. So the first thing you do is take 9 cards from the dungeon deck. These are dungeon cards, dungeon rooms, normal dungeon rooms. There's nothing special about them, okay? So you take 9 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You take 9 of these because we are playing a 2 players game. I can take up the rule book so I can show you how this works. See? So draw cards from the room deck. I'm reading game setup A. From the room deck based on hero count. So we have 2 heroes, so we take 9 cards, and these are gonna be on top of our dungeon deck, okay? Then we take 1 card per hero from the encounter deck, which is these minion cards that I set aside, so 2 for our gameplay because we have 2 heroes. And then we take 3 cards per hero from the room deck. So we take, or these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, okay. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we take 6 of these cards again, and then we take these 2 cards here and we put them randomly, and then we shuffle them without really knowing where the minions will be. They are called encounter cards apparently. Okay, and then this is our, let's say, second deck. And then we take 3 cards from our lair. 3 cards, and we shuffle them together with the lair door card, which is this one, and we just shuffle them together. Now I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but I hope you're not keeping track of what I'm doing, so that we don't know where the lair card door is. And that basically is. Then you're supposed to stack these on top of one another, so these on top, these on second, and this third. I'm gonna just keep them separate because so that I can remember when I, finished one of the decks, and then I can just draw from the second deck and then from the third deck, okay? Because I want to know where are the minions mostly, and where can the dragons, the lair, the boss lair be. So that's very important. Keeping track of these things is important in this game, okay? So I think this is enough for our introduction to the game, and then we can go through. We're gonna start the playthrough. So I'm gonna take a break just to separate the 2 sections, and I'll be right back. Okay, cool. So let's see if I can be back without breaking everything. I'll be a little bit delayed, but I hope I can be back. So, first thing is that we are at the entrance, and you see there's like 4 yellow pathways there. So what are we gonna do is that for each pathway, you can lay a door out here on our dungeon grid. Okay, so 4 of those 9 rooms are already out, which is amazing. Now I want to show you one of the things here on this mat, which is this symbol here. Okay, this whenever you see the orange symbol, it's a free action, and the heroes can take as many free action as they want during each turn, unless they started the turn unconscious. Unconscious means that they had 0 health, but we're gonna see how that works. But this is not the case. So this is a free action, and this means basically pull the torch down 1 step, and then you can basically reveal up to 4 dungeon tiles, so rooms, reveal them up to a maximum distance of 1. This power is very good at the beginning because we can immediately, spending basically 1 turn, because that's what you need to spend, well, that's what you spend when you do the torch ability. You basically are able to reveal 4 rooms altogether. So who's gonna start? I didn't decide that, and I didn't even take a marker for that. I'm gonna use a disarm trap marker to mark who starts, and I think we can start with Gerrund. Why not? Let's start with Gerrund the blue. Okay, so Gerrund is gonna start, and he's gonna use that free action. So we take the torch down. Whenever you take the torch down, if it goes on one of these symbols, the symbol here is a red square with a black inside, and then the other. So this means activate all monsters, all enemies. There are no enemies in play at the moment, so we don't have to activate anybody. We're gonna see what activating an enemy means. And we can reveal all 4 the doors, okay? So the first thing that we find is this thing. This is a trap. This is a trap door. We're gonna see how trap doors work, but you can see that this is a trap because it has this kind of disarm trap token ability, disarm trap ability, and it has this kind of symbol here. You can place the cards however you want, so that you can lay out these doors however you prefer. So I think I'm just gonna do it like this, and then I'm gonna lay out 2 more rooms, 1 and 2. At some point probably I will have to take a break to expand the dungeon and zoom out a little bit. Sorry about that, but right now I want you to be zoomed in so you can see as much as possible. So we revealed a room, then we revealed the second room. This is a goblin room. Each room has some special abilities, but whenever you see this symbol here, it means, now it's green, but whenever you see this means that you're gonna have to spawn a goblin there. And this symbol is in every goblin room, and means whenever this card is revealed, each hero that is in the same room, this is what this symbol means, each hero that is in this room takes 1 health damage. There's no hero in this room right now because we use the torch power to reveal this room, so no one's gonna take a damage. But if you enter a room and you discover this room, then you will have to take a damage. So that's how this works. So right now this has open doors in all the 4 directions, so we're gonna lay out 3 doors, 3 rooms. Sorry, 2 only, because 1 was already laid out. Now we can now we need to place a goblin. We place the goblin here, and what we do is basically drawing 1 card for the goblin deck that I hope I shuffled. Yeah, I mean it's only a few cards. You take this goblin here. It's gonna be a stabby goblin. We're gonna see how all of this works, but the stabby goblin is basically gonna be placed here, and it's gonna be our first goblin. I don't think you can see that. What if yeah, stabby goblin there. Okay, now second door, third door, let's open it. This is another goblin room, same concept. So we place the goblin here, and we reveal a goblin from here. It's gonna be a boomy goblin. And then we need to lay out doors. Okay, so now I'm over with the first 9 cards. So the first 9 cards have been laid out, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So from now on, these are cards that can potentially be minions. And to remember that, I'm gonna use some Arkham Horror tokens. Because why not? I have some Arkham Horror tokens. So this is just gonna remind me that this might be a minion. And then we have another trap which is our last trap, and this only has a this is basically just a corridor, and it's gonna be laid out here. And remember to place a token because this might be a minion. So this is basically very long first free action of the very first turn, but that is fine. Now, we would like to kill the goblins, okay? One of the goblins, and let's look at what Gerrund the Blue can do. So Gerrund the Blue could go into the room with one of them and try to do a melee attack using strength. But with strength, first of all, he has a penalty of -1 on the rolled result, but he only can roll 1 die. So that's kind of not what we want to do. Research is a free ability that will allow him to spend 4 focus to draw a spell card. This is what this means. But what we really like is the magic arrow. The magic arrow says this is a spell ability. So this is whenever you see blue, it's a main action, and each hero can do one main action in their whole turn. Only one main action. They can do as many free actions as they want, but only one main action, and they can only move once. So either you do move. It doesn't matter when you do the free actions, but either you do either you do main action movement or you do movement main action. You can't do some of the movement, do the main action, then do some other of the movement. Once you stop your movement, that is it for the turn, and you can't move anymore. Okay? So this is another important thing. Another important thing that stops your movement is if you enter a room and you find either a goblin or a minion, then you need to stop in that room. But we're gonna probably see that happening soon. So what I said, what we like is this magic arrow ability, and this basically says it's a spell that works at range 2, and whenever you see this squiggly arrow here, let's see if I can pull it out, you can see the squiggly arrow down in movement and range, bottom left, and it says any path. So target is connected with a pathway, can be the same room, can be a different room, but it basically it can be anywhere. You don't need line of sight. You don't need line of sight as long as it's a maximum 2 spaces away. Then you do an intelligence check of at least 6. If you roll at least a 6 on your intelligence, then you see this green check mark that shows a little bit transparent, but it's a green check mark. Then you can spend 2 focus to deal 2 damages to a hero that is basically at range 2 in any direction. This is good for us because we can kill the goblin, because the goblins only have 1 health point. So we can deal 2 health damage, which means killing them immediately using this spell. So we will try to use this spell and kill one of the goblins. Now, which goblin do we want to kill? Do we want to kill the boomy or the stabby? I think we will kill the boomy. We're gonna kill the boomy goblin. So boomy goblin is goblin number 2, so this one. So let's try to kill the boomy goblin. So now we need to do a skill check of 6 on our intelligence. We have 3 dice to do that because our intelligence is 3, as you can see here. So we roll 3 dice, and I'm gonna show you how these dice work. Okay, so we have a 5, a 4, and a +1. This is very very transparent, so I don't like that. Let me give it a quick fix. Oh my god, I'm not good at doing this. Okay, sorry. You see better? I think so. I guess. You know what? I'm just gonna take a quick break and fix it. Okay, hopefully I fixed it a little bit. So, what you can see is a 5, a +1, and a 4, okay? And this is basically a 1. How these dice work is that you need to choose one of the dice to be your main die, and in this case we're gonna choose a 5. This means that we cannot use the 4 or the 1 as main dice, okay? But the ones that have the plus, which is +1 or +2, because there's also a +2 here, but the 3 is normal. See, it doesn't have a plus. You can use them as modifiers of the main die, okay? So in this case, this would be a 6 because it's 5 plus 1. When you're using the dice, you ignore the symbols that are there, so you are not able to use that that ability. But the dice that you're not using, so in this case the 4, you are able to use them for their symbols. So in this case, I would be able to gain a focus if my skill test was successful. So in this case, it is successful because I rolled at least a 6, which is 5 plus 1. So I would be able to gain a focus. Now I can't gain a focus because I'm already maxed out, but we'll see that happen in the future. So I did at least a 6, so I can spend 2 focus to kill the Boomy Goblin, which is the one that I was targeting. So the Boomy Goblin is simply dead, okay? Now, as we said, the Boomy Goblin would only take only needs to take 1 single point of damage and it dies, okay? If we would have failed, he would have counterattacked, and this is the counterattack he does if he's hit with melee, range, or spell. So it doesn't matter. But if we would have failed, he would have hit us with the red die, which I didn't roll, but I should have rolled. And there's basically this red die that gives us how the counterattacks works, which can be a 3, a 4, a 5, a 2, or it can be this value here, which is the value of your shield. In this case, it would have been, our shield would have been 4. And then, so in this case, if we would have rolled the shield, it would have had to do 4 plus 1 per goblin, so plus 2. So it would have dealt us 6 damage. If you rolled the 3, it would have been 3 plus 1 per goblin, so it would have been a 5. But the 5 would have been, yeah. And then we basically subtract our armor. So if it was a 5, we subtract a 4 and we take 1 damage. If it was a 6, we would have taken 2 damages, and so on. And then there's another symbol which basically means take the torch down. So you basically lose a whole turn. That's how that works. And that would have only dealt us 2 damages, which would have been completely absorbed by the armor, okay? Now, this is what this part means. This is when they move, how much they move, and this is the armor they have. So if I was doing a melee or ranged attack, I would have had to hit him at least 5, because I would have to deal at least 1 damage. So if I do 5, I deal him 1 damage. If I do 6, I deal him 2 damages. It's not necessary to deal him more damages, but we're gonna see with the boss and with the minions, you're gonna have to deal more damage than just 1. So in this case, to kill a Boomy Goblin with a ranged or melee attack, you just need to roll 1. With the spell, you don't consider the armor. So that's why in this case, we're not considering the armor, but effectively just giving him 2 damages. But again, 1 is enough. And then we see this is the reward for when the goblin is killed. So I can either gain a loot or a spell. I'm gonna get a spell, and because my wizard wants spells, okay, so that's what we're gonna get. And this part we can ignore for now. We can see when they activate, but this is basically the activation routine of this specific goblin. Okay, so this is the spell we got. This means as a main action, you can cast a spell. You choose whichever skill you want. So in this case would be probably intellect, because we have 3 dice for our wizard. And if you do a list of 5, you can spend 2 focus to move up to your movement, to add up to your movement, to your normal movement, so you can move more, and then deal 2 damage to a target in the same room as you landed. This is what this means. This is still here. I don't like this green screen all of a sudden, but I mean, this is the skill we have right now. I'm just gonna fix this real quick. I put it too you know, too visible, kind of. Okay, now should be fine. Again, we did our main action in our turn, so now we can only either do free actions or move around in the dungeon. So I think I want to move 1, 2 and open this room. Could be a minion. It is a minion. Oh no, this is not good. Okay, this was the first minion that we found, which is not great, because whenever you enter a room with a minion, you immediately take 2 damages. So that's what we're gonna do. This is a very, this is just the first turn and everything is happening. This is amazing but also scary at the same time. So we draw a minion from the minion deck. And our minion is going to be the Dungeon Crawler, which is a giant spider. The game comes with meeples for the minions. I threw all my tokens on the ground. Oh my god. The game comes with meeples. They're very cute. And as you can see, the Dungeon Crawler has 7 lives. So not amazing. He has 7 hit points. Not 7 lives. And then if we reduce his hit points to 0, he dies. But for now, we're gonna forget about him for a second. I think our stubby goblin is not... I don't know how to make everything visible here. And he's just gonna chill with our wizard in the same room. Here. So very big, very intense first turn. Now the wizard can't move anymore because he entered the room with an enemy. So he literally cannot move at all. What we're gonna do now is go the torch down, go to Grokhal's turn. So move the torch down, and that symbol here means spawn a goblin at the staircase. So we're gonna spawn a goblin at the staircase together with Grokhal. And our goblin is gonna be a boomy goblin. He's back. Okay, so now I think that unfortunately... Oh, and I forgot to give him 2 damages. Now the bad thing here is that Grokhal can either go and try to kill the Dungeon Crawler, even though the Dungeon Crawler has an armor of 5, so he's not gonna be extremely good at that. Or he can try to kill the goblin. He will for sure kill the goblin, I hope. But I think we'd be better trying to kill the Dungeon Crawler for now. Even though the Boomy Goblin is gonna deal us damage. So maybe we want to kill the Boomy Goblin, because we don't want our wizard to get unconscious. I'm gonna explain what all of this means. But now we're gonna try to kill the Boomy Goblin, because next time they're all gonna activate. And when they activate, basically, the Boomy Goblin, when he activates, he can either move up to one space, but he doesn't need to because he's already in a room with one of us, or target all heroes in a list at range 2 and deal them 2 damages. So it would hit both Grok and the wizard. So that's not amazing, I would say. So I will go and attack the Boomy Goblin. So Grok has basically this axe power here, which means he can do a melee attack with a strength roll +1. So we get a +1 by default on this roll, so we only need to do 4 this time to kill the Boomy Goblin, to pierce his armor of 4. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So he has 3 dice to roll at least a 4. Can we do that? I hope we can. Okay, well, we rolled 5, so we're gonna use 5 as our main die, and then the 2 3s are gonna be just useless because we can't grow our focus. And he doesn't counterattack because he's dead. So we just kill the Boomy Goblin here, dead again, and we can take either a loot or a spell. And we're gonna take a loot for Grok. Hopefully it's gonna be something good, and the loot we get is, yes, the Great Axe of the Bear. And this tells us that whenever we do melee attack with the strength, we get actually a +2, even though this is gonna give us a penalty of -1. Now, why do we have of the bear? There are some legendary items. They are bear, phoenix, panther, and so on. And basically they have these kind of symbols. And when you have more than one of the items of the same category, they basically give you some bonuses. So in this case, as you see, there's 2 pips here. If you have 2 items of the bear, that's gonna give you +1 whenever you do a melee attack. If you have 3, it's gonna give you +2 when you do a melee attack. And if you have all of the 4, because there's 4 per set, it's gonna give you a +3 per each melee attack. So now I should place this covering the axe. So now he lost his axe because we're covering that. But basically that's just how it works. I'm gonna place the Stabby Goblin here to remind us that this is a 1, because this is already like quite of a struggle. And the axe is gonna go here, okay? So Grokals was able to kill this guy, and now he's going to he could move, but he's not gonna move because when the dungeon scroller activates, which is gonna be next turn, he's going to basically move and target all heroes at least one that are at least 1 away. And he doesn't want to be there because otherwise he would get hit. So he's gonna just stay there and let Gerrund Blue take all the damage. So what we're gonna do now is activate. Wow, this turn, like a turn each, was like everything happened. It's amazing. It's just like minions, goblins, traps, all together. Like from now, the learning curve is, softer. Don't worry. So now we're gonna activate all the monsters. First, we activate the goblins. So this goblin would hit when activate, either moves or attacks someone in the same space. Okay, he doesn't have anybody in the same space. He would deal 1 damage per goblin +1. So in this case, he would deal 2 damages. But he has no one in his spot, so he's just gonna move together with Grok. Because he has a movement of 4, but whenever they meet their first, sorry, I didn't show you, it was here. So whenever they meet their first hero, they just stop. So that's what the Stabby Goblin is doing. The dungeon crawler activates and moves, but he's not gonna move because he's already in a room with let's see if I can show you. Yeah, he's already in the room with our Gerrund, so he's not gonna move, and targets all heroes at distance 1, at least 1. So he's gonna move, he's gonna attack Gerrund, and he's gonna deal him -2 damage and -2 focus. So -2 health and -2 focus damage. And that's pretty much it, unfortunately. I mean, it's good that it's it. It's not good that all of this happened. Now it's up to Gerrund's turn again. And we could let Gerrund... I forgot to place one of the hearts in the dungeon crawler. We could let Gerrund deal 2 damages to the dungeon crawler and then basically move away. I think that's what we should do. So he's gonna cast his magic arrow again. He doesn't have anything better than the magic arrow at the moment, so we're just gonna let him cast magic arrow. He could rest, but resting and staying there, it's not amazing. I think he might want to rest next turn. Resting basically means gaining 3 health and 5 focus. But that's a main action, so you're gonna have to just... You might just be able to move away, but not do anything else. So let's let him, like, cast the spell. Oh, but he's gonna take a counter attack. He's gonna take a counter attack from the dungeon crawler. So that's gonna make him unconscious. So actually, we are going to rest and get 3 and 5. The rest action is written here, +3 health, +5. It's a main action, and then he's gonna have to move away. And he can only move here, unfortunately, because the goblin is there. So he can't do much more than that. Actually, let him actually forget about what I said. He's not gonna rest. He's gonna move away because he can move away from where the dungeon crawler is, because the stopping rule is only when you enter a room with a goblin, a minion, or the boss. It's not when you are already in a room with them. And then he's gonna cast the spell on the goblin, so that he can try and kill this goblin here, the Stabby Goblin. And killing the Stabby Goblin would give him 3 health as a choice. So that's actually a great move. Let's do that. So he needs a 6 to succeed, and that's good because we got exactly 1 6. So we get the 6 to succeed, and these 2 are gonna give us 2 focuses. Then we can cast our magic arrow. We need to spend 2 arrows, 2 focus, to deal 2 damages to the Stabby Goblin, which only has 1 health. And now the Stabby Goblin is dead, and the reward for the Stabby Goblin is, for killing the Stabby Goblin, is either gain 1 loot or gain 3 health, and he's gonna gain 3 health now. So this goblin is also dead. This was his turn. He moved, he did his main action, he can't do anything anymore. He could do free actions, but we're not gonna let him do that, because the only free action he has is to draw a spell card, but it's for focus, and I don't want that. So we move to Grok, and Grok needs to go and attack the dungeon crawler. There's nothing else Grok can possibly do. So 1, 2, he's gonna go and attack the dungeon crawler. So the dungeon crawler has 5 armor. Grok has the great axe of the bear. He actually has exactly 2 movements, so he could do that. Now, I didn't check the movement, but he has 3 -1, so perfect. Good enough. Oh, he could spend the focus to give him +1 movement thanks to his sprint ability, but wasn't needed. Now it's gonna attack with 3 dice, basically, because it's gonna use strength, but this strength is gonna be at +2. Okay, so we have a 4 and a 3. A 4, a 2, and a 1. And he's gonna counterattack with a 4, okay? So potentially we're giving the dungeon scroller 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7, plus 2 is 9, 9 minus 5, 4 damages, bringing him down to 3. What we can do, and that's exactly what I'm going to do actually, is use Battle Rage. Battle Rage is the ability Grokal has. He has top everything, so I'm just gonna remember that. Grokal has this ability: whenever performing a melee or ranged attack, you can spend 3 focus to add +2 to your roll. And that's exactly what we're going to do, because this means that it was maximum, 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 and we rolled these things here. These things here. So this means that we're gonna do 4 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2. So 8, 10, 11 damage. 11 damage with his 5 armor, unfortunately, is only gonna be 6 damage. So it's down to 1. Not quite enough to kill it, but very close. And that costed Grokal 3 focus because of the Battle Rage. Now, the spider is gonna counterattack with this 4. 4 plus... Let me show you. It's a 4. This was a melee attack, so it's a 4 plus 3 because it's melee attack, so it's 7. So it's gonna counterattack with 7, and unfortunately Grokal only has an armor of 2, so it's gonna take 5 damages, bringing him down to 3. And that was basically the combat that we had against our first minion. Now it is back to Gerrund Blue, and we're gonna spawn a goblin at the entrance. It's gonna be a Poke Goblin. He's new. He's gonna let us reveal a room when we kill him. Okay, so Poke Goblin in the entrance is gonna be Goblin number 1. And now we have a choice. We have a choice to kill the dungeon crawler or kill the Poke Goblin. So when we kill a minion, we bring the torch back up 6 times. I think it's still smarter to kill the dungeon crawler, even though we're gonna lose basically 1 bonus for that +6. But we can cast again our magic arrow, and since we can attack someone at distance too, we can kill the dungeon crawler if we succeed. The only problem is that we're gonna have to take damage from the Poke Goblin, but it's only +1. No, it's only -1 per goblin, so it would be only 1 damage, which I guess Gerrund can take. So let's try to cast Magic Arrow. Actually, he can move away, so he doesn't even have to do that. He can just avoid the goblin attacking him. So let's try to cast Magic Arrow against the dungeon crawler. Okay, so we need a 6 to succeed, and we have a 4 plus 2 that we're gonna use for that scope. We don't need the red because he's dead, because we're gonna cast the thing, and we're gonna get 3 focus because of this +2. So 1, 2, 3. So we take this +2 out, and then we cast the spell, and we're gonna spend 2 focus to deal 2 damage to dungeon crawler, who is dead. There's no reward written on the dungeon crawler card because all minions have the same reward. Now this heart theoretically goes on the boss mat here. It goes here to signify that you killed one of the 2 minions that you need to advance. I'm just gonna move this out of the way again. The bonus for each minion is written here. I hope you can see it, but if you can't see it, I could actually just show it to you. I would just remember where we were. It's basically like moving the torch up 6 spaces, and the torch was here, so it would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I didn't say we started the torch here because there is the 2 players starting point. And that's why we started here and we didn't start there. So, and we cannot move it past that spot. The torch is green, so you can't see it, but the torch is gonna be there, and then we can take either a loot or a spell, and a loot and a spell 2 times. Or a spell. Okay, so we are back at our starting timer. Let me place back all the goblins, and I think we're gonna get a spell. The spell we get is a spell with intellect check of 3. You can spend 3 focus to give you +3 strength. I don't think this is great for him. I don't necessarily understand this card. Plus melee, +3. So you can do a melee attack and put it to +3. Okay, that's what it means. I don't think this is great for him, because this +3 is always gonna be -1 with the dagger. So what you can do is discard whatever you don't like, and whenever Grok gets a loot, but even Gerrund Blue gets a loot or spell, you can also take something from the discard pile. So you can choose if to draw it or get it from the discard pile. And then I think he's gonna get a loot. The loot is the long sword of the lion, and suddenly that giant strength was not too bad. Actually, I can make the choice twice together, right? So we get these 2 things, and I think we're gonna equip both of them now, because now his strength, his melee attack is suddenly +1, and he can also spend 2 focus to add +1, but also other 3 focus to get +3. So I think he's gonna get both of them for now, and we're gonna see how this goes. So Gerrund Blue is full with spells. He can't get any more spells. Let me see, how can I show you everything? Is this gonna show you everything? For now, yes. We're probably gonna have to expand a little bit, zoom out a little bit very soon. So, but yeah, okay. Woo! I'm talking way too much. It's still Gerrund the Blue turn, and he can still move. So he's actually gonna move away one spot, and I think he's gonna go. Where is he gonna go? None of this is good. I think he should maybe go here and try. And let's check the first trap of the game, right? Even though this might be a very stupid idea. But basically, what this says is that you need to make a skill check of whatever you want of 7, and if you fail, you lose 2 health. Then, as a main action in a turn, you can basically do a skill test of 6, strength test of 6, and you can get, you can disarm the trap, which means whenever you go through the trap, it doesn't activate anymore. Otherwise, until you disarm it, it's still gonna be active, and you can get a loot or a spell. I think he's gonna go there because this is the other minion room, possible minion room. So why not? And he's gonna roll for the he needs to do a skill test of at least 7. And we only unfortunately have a 5, a 5, and a 4. But an ability that everybody has as a free action is to spell 2 focus to roll up or down a die. And I think what we're gonna do is to spend 4 focus to roll this die down twice. So 2, 3, and then 2, 2. And then we have a 5 plus 2, which is a 7, and it's a success. This should have not been rolled because it's not a combat, by the way. So we didn't get hit from the trap. Now it's gonna go into this room here because it still has 2 movements left. Okay, this room is a goblin room. Unfortunately, that's not amazing. So we found a goblin. We take a damage immediately, and the goblin that we found is a shooty goblin. Who's gonna be our goblin number 2? Can you see it here? Yes. Goblin number 2 is gonna be a shooty goblin, and that's basically it for the turn of Grokal, because for Gerrund the Blue, because he can't move anymore. Now we move the torch down again, and this is gonna activate all enemies. I forgot to kill the dungeon scroller there. So first we're gonna activate this minion here, this goblin here. He's gonna move once, because he can't attack. He only has range 1, so he can't attack anybody. So he's just gonna move once, and I will move him towards... You know what? I'm gonna move him here. While the shooty goblin, he has a range of 2, and he can also move, but he's not gonna move because he's already in a room with Gerrund Blue. So he's just gonna deal him 1 damage. And Gerrund Blue is suddenly not in very great shape. Okay, so now it's Grokal's turn, since we started with rolling the torch down. And I forgot that he only has 2 movement points, but what we can do is... Oh, and I forgot to spawn rooms here. What I'm gonna do is spawn a room like this. I'm gonna spawn a room here. Where are the rooms? Here. And this is again another possible minion room. What I'm going to do is make him move 1, 2, 3, spending a focus for his sprint. He can get +1 movement point because he would have 3, but because of the great axe he has a -1, but then a +1 because of the ability there. So now first he needs to disarm to try and not die with the trap. He can do a skill test of 7. He's gonna choose strength, so let's hope he succeeds at that. Now he's at 0. He's at 0 focus because he sprinted. Okay, so 6 plus 1, so this is a success. The 5 unfortunately doesn't give us anything, so that was a success. And now he's gonna attack the shooty goblin, no, the pokey goblin that is in that room, with the great axe of the bear. So he has a +2. He only needs a 5. No, sorry, a 6, a 7 to kill the pokey goblin. 7, but he has a +2, so 5 plus 7 plus 2 is 7 already. So he only is gonna use the 5 because he has the +2 from the great axe of the bear, and he's gonna gain back 3 focus because of that. That's amazing. And the pokey goblin is dead. And the loot is either to get a loot or reveal a dungeon tile. What we are going to do is to get a loot, I think. Grokal gets a Shield of the Lion. Basically, the Shield of the Lion, whenever you're doing melee attack, you get +1 armor. But also, when you're doing a melee attack, you can reroll a die. And I think we're gonna discard this, or no. Oh no, I think he can equip it. It's not amazing for him, but he's gonna do a lot of melee attacks. So now he doesn't have the sprint ability anymore, which is not amazing, but what can you do? How do I do this now? Like this? Like this. Yes. A lot of this is like room management. This is dead. And the problem is that I mean, there's no problem. He can't move anymore. He can't do anything. He did the main action with the melee attack. He did the movement, so that's all he can do. So we move the torch down, and we spawn a new goblin at the entrance. And the new goblin is gonna be a stabby goblin. So, and now it's Gerrund's turn. What is he gonna do? Is he gonna rest? But then stabby goblin. No. He's gonna have to attack. He's gonna have to attack, because if he doesn't attack, this guy's gonna attack both Gerrund and Grokal, and we don't want that. So he's gonna have to cast his magic arrow. Hopefully succeeds, because if he doesn't succeed, we're in trouble. So he's gonna cast his magic arrow. We need a 6. Clearly. Obviously. Well, this didn't work very well. Oh, but we didn't have the 2 focus to spend anyway. But we could have gambled it, right? So let's suppose I was stupid and I didn't think about that. He tried to cast a spell that didn't really work. Unfortunately. So what he's gonna do is take the counter attack. The counter attack was a 3, and we are facing the shooty goblin. The counter attack is +1 per goblin, so that's a 5. If it's a 5 and Gerrund has 4 armor, it's gonna take 1 damage. Unfortunately, this means that Gerrund is gonna be unconscious next round, because now it's Grokal's turn, and this is gonna activate all goblins again. So first goblin number 1, who's gonna be the stabby goblin. The stabby goblin does not anybody in range, and because his range is the room where he's in, so he's gonna move here in the room with Grokal. But this guy, how's he called? The shooty goblin has both of them in range, because he shoots a range +2. So he's gonna deal 1 damage to Grokal and 1 damage to Gerrund, making him unconscious. But now it's Grokal's turn, and Grokal is gonna try and kill the stabby goblin that is in the room with him. So to kill the stabby goblin, he only needs really a 2. There's no way we failed. There's no way to fail this. It's impossible. Okay. So this is the dice that we have. The stabby goblin has a 4, so he really needs only a 3. Sorry, I said a 2, but it was a 3, because we need to have at least 5. So we're gonna use the 5 to kill the stabby goblin and take the rest as focus, even though he can only take 1. Oh, you know what we could do? No. Oh, we can't do anything. Never mind. We can kill the stabby goblin, and the stabby goblin as reward as either +3 health or a loot. I think this time we might have to take the health. So the stabby goblin is dead. Grokal did his main action. And I think he's actually gonna stay in the room where he is, because I kind of want him to disarm this trap next turn. So now we move this down. Our Gerrund blue is unconscious. I'm thinking if this was stupid, because then it's gonna be, oh no, this is probably stupid. Then you know what, we're gonna move, doesn't really matter. I think we're gonna move him once here. So now it is Gerrund the Blue's turn, and he's unconscious, so the only thing he can do is rest, which gives him 3 health and 5 focus. But he can do free actions, he can do main actions. The only thing he can do is movement. But I would kind of avoid that, I guess, because if he moves inside this room and that's the minion, I don't think we wanna find the minion right now, do we? Maybe we do. Let's make him move there. Maybe it's not even a minion. Maybe it's a goblin. Okay. So this was a goblin room. We actually need to place this here. There's no other way to place it. And we need to spawn a room here. Entering a goblin room is gonna deal him 1 damage immediately. The goblin is going to be this one, which is going to be, I need to reshuffle the goblins because we ran out of them. I think there's 2 for each type, right? Yes. There's 2 shooty, 2 boomy, 2 stabby. I think. I'm not sure actually. It's going to be a boomy goblin. You don't see the shooty goblin anymore though. What if I put goblin number 2 here for now? It's gonna be confusing, but hopefully not too much. And I'm gonna zoom out soon. I keep saying that, but I don't want to because it's setting the whole thing. It's a nightmare. But now we found someone. He needs to stop there. Can't do anything. It's Grokal's turn. So Grokal can kill the shooty goblin. So it's gonna do a Great Axe of the Bear attack. He needs to kill it. He needs 6, but he has a +2, so he really needs a 4 only. But he already has he doesn't care about focus anyways, so whatever, doesn't really matter. Oh, what if, I have a good idea though. We're gonna spend 2 of these to roll this 5 to a 6. So we're gonna spend 2 focus to roll this to a 6. We're gonna use the 4 to attack the shooty goblin, and this is gonna be basically a 6 because we have the Axe of the Bear. And then we can take 2 focus and 1 health back. So 2 focus and 1 health back, and we killed the shooty goblin. So basically we spent, it was a 4, we spent 2, we gained 2 back and 1 health. So that's, sorry, something you can do. I'm allergic to life. No, I'm allergic to stuff, so spring is not amazing for me. This guy's gonna give us a loot or 5 focus. We're definitely gonna take a loot because we don't need the focus. The loot is a spiked buckler. So when do melee, get +1 armor and a +1 strength. We're definitely gonna equip this instead of the shield of the lion. The shield of the lion is gonna be our first discard. I'm gonna place it here where you can't see it, but this was Grokal's turn. This guy is dead. Oh, is the Boomy Goblin gonna knock unconscious Gerrund again? He is. It's not amazing. Gerrund is constantly unconscious. Can you revive somehow? So now they're gonna activate, and the Boomy Goblin is gonna deal 2 damages to both of them. So Gerrund Blue is gonna be unconscious, and Grokal is gonna take 2 damages because he can damage at distance too, basically. So now it's Gerrund's the blue turn again, who's just gonna rest 3, and he's gonna get back to full focus. And again, he can only move. But I kinda don't really want him to move, so it's just gonna stay there. Now it's Grokal's turn again. I don't know. Never mind. He's gonna actually move here. It's another goblin, I swear. And this is gonna, yeah, spawn 2 rooms. How do I make this make sense? I think I need to zoom out. The time has come. The time has come. It's gonna take another damage here. It's gonna spawn another goblin, who's gonna be a stabby goblin in this room with him. And now we need to spawn 2 rooms. So yeah, this means I have to zoom out and take a quick break to make this make a little bit more sense. I think there's no way. I mean, if I move everything down, let me move everything down. Okay, I moved out some of the stuff. I zoomed out. In the end, I gave in and I zoomed out, and basically, the logo is, yeah. And now the shadow of the phone that is recording is basically on my face, so that's not amazing. But let's spawn these 2 rooms now. And again, let's put the tokens, the minion tokens, on these 2. That's unfortunate because he really can't do much more than that. So it's Grokal's turn again, who's gonna have to kill. The problem is that he can't kill many goblins. That's really the issue here. He can only go to the Boomy Goblin, kill the Boomy Goblin. That's pretty much it. But then the Stabby Goblin is gonna make Gerrund unconscious again. Oh no, we have one more round. We have one more round before Gerrund goes unconscious again. Okay. So maybe we have a chance. Okay, so Gerrund is gonna attack. No, Grokal is gonna attack the Boomy Goblin. So we really need a 3. We got a 3. we can't do the trick that we did last time, can we? If we spend 4 focus to roll the 4 to a 6, I mean, we could. I think we should. So I'm gonna spend 2 focus to roll the 4 to a 6. Then we're gonna use the 3 plus the 2 here. Ah no, actually we only need a 2, but we're gonna use the 3 anyways. We're gonna use the 3 plus the 2 plus 1, it's 6. 6 against the boomy goblin is dead, we need a 5. And then we're gonna take back 1 health and 3 focus, because we didn't use these 2 dice. So the boomy goblin is dead. And the boomy goblin gives either loot or spell. It's gonna get, I don't know, it's fine with loot, I guess, but doesn't hurt to get more, right? Loot. Throwing axe of the bear. Oh, this is a ranged attack, and it gives +2. But the problem is, oh no. The problem with these is simply that I think we're gonna equip it. The problem is that the spiked buckler would only give the bonus to melee attacks, but we're gonna equip the throwing axe of the bear and discard the spiked buckler, because now, since we have 2 things of the bear, all melee attacks are gonna get another +1, so it's kind of like having the spiked buckler but losing the armor benefit. Now he moved, he attacked, he can do some free actions, but there's no free actions that he has. So that was Grok's turn. Now we're gonna spawn a goblin at the entrance. We're kind of running out of time, and we need to find these minions soon. It's a pokey goblin. This is a good goblin because it allows you to unveil rooms when killed. But so the pokey goblin, but he's very far, so that's what I meant. Now Gerrund the blue is gonna have to cast this spell against this goblin, and he's gonna have to kill the stubby goblin. No questions here. Sorry if you hear the crackling of the dice, because I'm speaking. Okay, we have a 6. So what we're gonna do, we also have a 4 and a 3, but they're kind of useless, I think. I could roll the 4 to a 6, but that, I think we want the focus for Gerrund in general. We can get health right now anyways. So yeah, we're gonna take the 6, that's a success, so we can spend 2 focus to deal 2 damages to this goblin, who's dead, stubby goblin. And the bonus for the stubby goblin for killing can be to get 3 health, which is what we're gonna do, because we don't want Gerrund unconscious again in a second here. And he could have gotten, I mean, he couldn't have gotten any more focus because it was a maximum. He can still move, because he did his main action, but he can still move and do free actions. I don't think he's gonna do any free action, but we need to find this minion. So let him move here. It's a trap. It wasn't a minion, it's a trap, and it's a corridor, so it can only lead there, which is good and bad at the same time, because we're connecting the rooms, hopefully, but he needs to do a agility check of 4. I don't know if you can see that. Agility check of 4. He has 2 dice for agility. So let's see. A 4. He got a 4, so that's fine. He can get back 3 focus because he also rolled a 2. So that's good. So he moved once, he can move up to 3. So I think we're gonna do 1, 2. And this is not... It's another trap. It's not the minion. But we're gonna spawn another room that could be the minion here. And this trap is test of whatever of 6. And I think it's gonna test intellect, clearly. And if you fail, take 3 damages. That is not good at all. Okay, let's test intellect 6. We got a 6, so that's good enough. We passed it. We don't gain anything because it's maxed out on everything. And that's everything, unfortunately. Now the goblins activate. The Poke Goblin can move up to 3 rooms. Because he doesn't have anybody at range 1. So it's gonna move 1, 2, 3 in the room with Gerrund. No, with Grok. I will never get these names right. And what we're gonna do now is kill the Poke Goblin, hopefully, and reveal that room there. That is our goal. Hopefully that's finally the minion. So Grok is gonna attack. 5 plus 1 plus 1. He only needs what does he need to kill the Poke Goblin? He needs a 6, 7. He needs a 7. He already has 2, 3, so he needs a 4. So we're gonna use this 5, and these are left over. Unfortunately, we can't do much with those. So, no, we can get focus. Yes, we will get a focus, and we're gonna kill the Poke Goblin. And then we're gonna get a loot. I'll move the loot there. You can see it a little here. We got Warhorn of the Bear. Oh, we have another thing of the bear. Free action. Lose 2 focus and target 4 enemies. Up to 4 enemies. To move 2 rooms wherever you want, basically. Up to 2 distance wherever you want. Oh, sorry, no. Target all enemies at range 4. That's what this means. Okay. So now we suddenly are super strong in melee. Can I put it here? No, I'm gonna put it here. Actually here, why not? Because now we get a +4 whenever we attack with melee. The problem is that, and we can also reveal a room, and we're gonna reveal this one. Please let it be the minion. Yes, finally, it's the minion. We can only place it like this, unfortunately, which is a very bad placement. We're gonna see later why. And the minion that we're gonna spawn, it's good that we didn't enter the room because we don't take 2 damages in this way, revealing it in this way. And the minion is gonna be the Dire Serpent. 6 health, 5 armor, 3 movement. He has +1 armor when attacked with melee, and he has a +4 melee. Ah, that's bad. And he moves and deals 3 damages. He's a beast. So we have the Dire Serpent. I'm gonna put him here. The Dire Serpent. And we have his little meeple. Is gonna be here. He can still move. He can only move 2. So that's fine. He's gonna move 1, 2. He's gonna have to do that trap 2. That trap test. Or do we want that? Maybe he could spend just... What if he... No, it's fine. Yeah. Let's just do this. 6. 6 with a 3 dice. Oh no. Well, he's gonna have to spend 2 focus to roll this down to a 2. And now he has his 6. And he gets 1 focus back. And he passed the skill test. Now we go down with the torch. We don't have that many rounds before we, like, the dire serpent needs to be dead very soon. Now we could attack the dire serpent melee, or we could just give him 2 damages, which I think it's the best option with the magic arrow. So we're gonna try to shoot our magic arrow with Gerrund Blue. Yep, that's what it's gonna do. Didn't go great because he needs a 6, but we can spend 2 focus to roll this 3 down to a 2. And this is a 6 now, and we can get 1 focus back. And we can deal 2 damages to the dire serpent here. And then we can move up to 3 spaces away. And I think it's gonna move 1, 2. I mean, we kind of want... Oh, I never placed the room here. I'm gonna place it now. We kind of want the layer somewhere here, to be honest. So we're gonna move 1, 2, 3 down there. I don't know if this is smart because Grok is gonna take a while to get back there. But what can we do? Yeah, I think it's fine. I think we're gonna survive. Now we move the torch down again. We spawn a goblin at the entrance. Goblin at the entrance. We have a stabby goblin. Now it's Grokal's turn. And Grokal, you need to kill it. So Grokal is gonna move there, which is unfortunately gonna end his movement. Or no, what if we... I think we'd better spend... No, we'd better spend these 3 for +2 in case, rather than taunting the monster to move close to us. So how much do we have? A lot, to be honest. So we have +2, +3, +4. We have +4 on the melee attack. Potentially +6. So we have a +4. But we rolled like shite. So this is 5 +4 is 9. But it's fine. 5 +4 is 9. 9 minus 5. No. Because he has +1 armor. So he has 6 armor. And 9 is not enough. So we're gonna spend 2 focus to roll these up to a 3. Then we need this 6. 6 +4, 10 against 6 armor. But he needs 4 to die. So he's dead. That's good. Dark Serpent is dead. Now we killed all the minions. I'm gonna place the heart here. You can see it. It's here. I made a mess to show you this stupid heart thingy. So now we need to find the lair. And we still haven't started even revealing the cards that might contain the lair. So, but the Dire Serpent is dead, which is gonna give us 6 more torch movement up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're here, and we can draw 2 loot and 2 1 loot and 1 spell. I mean 2 loot or 2 spell, or 1 loot and 1 spell, basically. I think Gerrund needs a better spell. The Dire Serpent is dead. So let's get a spell. This basically means that if you cast a spell with a strength of 7, I mean, if you manage to cast this spell with a skill check of 7, you can spend 4 focus to do another main action at a +3 modifier. The problem is that I don't have any damaging spells, and I would want damaging spells, so I think we're gonna, he's gonna discard this anyways, because he's not gonna cast spells, and we're gonna take another spell. Now this is a damaging spell. So cast a spell targeting an enemy in any path a distance 2. With intelligence you do 7, skill test of 7, and then you can spend 6 focus to deal 4 damage. That is good. Very good. This is unfortunately gonna be discarded, but then if Gerrund were to get a spell, he can take it from the discard pile. Now, what we are going to do right now is move down first of all. So now the Stabby Goblin is gonna move 4 spaces towards the nearest hero. So it's gonna move together with Gerrund. And now Gerrund is gonna have to I have hair, lose hair everywhere. Okay. He's gonna try to cast his magic arrow for a 6. With a 6, sorry. So we get a 4 plus 2. That's good enough, which is a 6. We have a 2 extra focus to get. So we get 1 focus because that's maximum, and we cast our spell, spending 2 focus to kill the Stabby Goblin. Killing the Stabby Goblin gives him either a loot or 3 health. So it's just gonna get a loot, unfortunately. Loot is not a spell. So that's not good. The crossbow, which helps with agility. This is kind of bad for us. For all of us. Is it good for him? He can attack with agility at +1. And he will get a +1. He's gonna get it equipped because why not? But or he could spend 4 research to get a spell and get the damaging spell. Yeah, he's gonna discard the crossbow. And what he's going to do is, we can wait with the fireball. So we're gonna do. He can move up to 3, so he's gonna move here. So he needs to do the trap again, unfortunately. So he's gonna have to do a skill test of 7. That's bad. So what we have to do is either we spend a lot of focus to roll this 4 down to a 2, So we need to spend 4 focus, or we take 2 damage. I don't want to take 2 damage with Gerrund, so he's gonna spend 4. So it goes to 2. This gets rolled down to a 2. And then we have a 5 plus 2, which is a success. He could get a health, but he doesn't. He's full, so... Okay, so 1, 2, 3. This is going to be his movement. Okay. Now we move the torch down, and Grokal just needs to go around the same area, I guess. That's his objective. One, so he needs to do a skill test of 6. The problem is that he can only move 2 at a time. Oh, I only rolled 2 dice. And they don't look good. They don't look good. How much focus does Grokal have, though? It doesn't look like he has enough. Does it? To roll that to a 2? We're gonna say he doesn't, because I don't remember. Yeah, we're gonna say he has only 1. So he's gonna take 3 damages. 1, 2, 3. This is not good. So he's gonna move 2. 1, 2 here. And then what he's gonna do is rest, I think. So he's gonna get 1, 2, 3, and up to his full. Because all his main actions are just to attack, so he could try to disarm this trap or research here, but it's kinda useless. He could get loot or discarded loot or spells, but he doesn't need them at the moment. So we move the torch down. We need to find this layer, and we need to do it fast. So we spawn our goblin at the entrance, and it's going to be the boomy goblin. And now the wizard needs to reveal rooms. So do we go here? Do we go here? Let's go here. Okay, this is not good. So this was 1 movement point. You can move the torch down once to go to full health. We don't care about that. So we go 2, 3. This is another trap. This trap has a skill test of 7. So let's hope he manages it. I mean, this is a 5. He's just gonna take 2 damages, I think. 1, 2. And we can only reveal 1 room, which is down here. And I don't like this. Do I need to shift everything up? Yeah, I need to. Let me shift everything a little up. I played yesterday a couple of games. Didn't seem like the dungeon was growing like so vast. Okay. So our wizard has finished his movement, and I think what we want to do right now is to attack the boomy goblin. He can do with the magic arrow. Hopefully this time we're luckier with the dice roll. We only need a 6. Ooh. Okay, we got a 6. We don't need to do anything. We just got a 6, and we're gonna get 4 focus. So he goes up to 6, and he can spend 2 focus to deal 2 damages with his magic arrow to the boomy goblin. The boomy goblin is dead, and as a reward, he can get a spell. And guess which spell we're gonna get? Is it the fireball? The fireball. A fireball. Which one are we gonna discard? I think we're gonna discard the giant's strength. That's okay for us. It's okay. We don't care about that. Ooh. Okay. We need to find this room and we need to find it fast. So I think that despite my good intentions, we're gonna go down, the enemies activate, but there's no enemy. Despite my good intention, I think Grok is gonna go here. He's gonna have to do a agility check of 4. Oh, I didn't realize this is a trap that if you succeed, you can get a discarded loot. Ah, but if you fail, you need to spawn a goblin. Better not fail this one. Well, we got a 6, so we didn't fail. Even though, what if we spend 2? Do I want to spend... I think I want to spend 2 to get this up to 4. And then get back a health. We succeeded. So this was one movement. Second movement. This is not a trap because it can't be disarmed. This is just something that you have to do. It's not even a trap. Oh, it's a goblin. It's a goblin room. So we take 1 damage. We spawn a goblin. So we need to reshuffle those. And these at least connects down here. So that's good enough. We need to spawn more rooms. What is happening? Do you remember when at the beginning of the game I said, it's not gonna be a problem. That never happens. Well, it's happening. It's happening. We can't find a way to spawn more rooms. So a pokey goblin. A pokey goblin. I mean, I could really damage myself and put it up there and spawn a room there. But do I want to do that? I think it's fine. I think it's gonna be fine. Pokey Goblin is gonna go here, and we're gonna attack the Pokey Goblin with our axes, with the Great Axe of the Bear. To kill the Pokey Goblin, we need a 7, but we have a +2, so +4, so a 3 is going to be enough. So we're gonna recharge our focus, and we're gonna kill the Pokey Goblin. Oh, that's good, because the Pokey Goblin gives us as a reward to get a loot and reveal a dungeon room. Studded jerkin of the bear. So we're getting everything of the bear. That is amazing. This is definitely equipped to Grok. This is so lucky. I mean, even yesterday when I played, I got everything of the panther because, I mean, sometimes it just happens. We can reveal a dungeon room. Now, which one do we want to reveal? This one? Let's reveal this one and see what happens. Perfect. This was a dead end. This was a dead end. So we know that that's not where we want to go. That's good to know. Okay, so this is dead. We move the torch down. Our wizard needs to move. I didn't spawn a room here. We're gonna spawn it now. It's okay. This is one of the rooms that... Which was the first room that could have been a lair? This one, I think. Yeah, this could have been a lair. So the lair is either this room or some other two that we still need to spawn. So I think we could cast elemental charge that could give us like double movement basically. So I think we're gonna cast elemental charge that is going to give us 3 movements, and then if we land on a minion we can just on a goblin we can just kill it with our elemental charge, but then our movement is over. So we want to cast it. I think at this point I just want to move, and then if I don't find anything interesting I can cast it somehow. 1, 2, 3. It's a goblin room and it's another dead end. Perfect. So we take a damage because we're in a room with a goblin and we need to kill it. Which goblin is it? It's the shooty goblin. So let's try to cast our magic arrow once again. Okay, we have 2 6s and a 5. We only need a 6, so we're gonna take this 6. Or do we want to spend... Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna spend 2 focus to roll this down to a... to roll this up to a 6. And then I'm gonna use one of the 6s and get 2 health from the other 2 6s. Kill the shooty goblin, which can give me as a reward +5 focus. So that's okay. The problem is that I did my main action. But I wouldn't have been able, even if I casted the spell before, I wouldn't have been able to then move again because I ended up in a room. I entered the room with a monster, so with an enemy. So now we move down this. We spawn a goblin at the entrance. Stabby goblin. Doesn't really matter. I need to... the stabby goblin is not gonna make me reveal rooms, unfortunately. So I think he's gonna do 1, 2. He's just gonna move here. And I could connect these two, but I want to add rooms, so I think I'm gonna do this. And you know what? I'm gonna discard my Great Axe of the Bear because I need the extra movement. I'm gonna discard it. I need the extra movement, and I'm going to move here. Hopefully this is the lair. Hopefully this is the lair. It's the lair. Finally, we found the lair. Okay. Now on that bat. We would have lost if I didn't do that, because he wouldn't have been able to get there in time. So now we can do our free action to open the lair, and this is gonna, because we have killed 2 minions, so we have 2 hearts on our boss mat. You know what? These are kind of useless, so I'm gonna move everything back down. Just to know there's 2 rooms there, but we don't really need them. Basically, now we go into the boss phase. Oh no, this is exactly the person I fought yesterday. So this is the Gorgon. So we're gonna fight the Gorgon. I have this meeple here, the Gorgon. The Gorgon is gonna start on the boss mat, and basically the boss has this amount of health for each of the minions that you defeated. So each of these gray hearts is gonna signal 8 points of life for the Gorgon. Okay, so he has 16 health points, but you can't really go to 0 directly because there is this symbol. Okay, so now we're gonna spawn the altars where the minions at the entrance. So at the entrance and where the minions were, we're gonna place these tokens that are altar tokens. And basically what you need to do to be able to go below this 4 health is to drag the Gorgon inside one of those rooms that contain an altar. So we're lucky enough that the entrance is close enough and we only need 1. There's some monsters that need the 2 or 3. Usually the one that need 2 or 3 are less powerful, like they do less damage usually. So that really depends. So the Gorgon moves 2 and it has an armor of 6 and it responds, this is the counterattacks modifiers. But whenever it activates, it moves and targets all enemies in a range of 3 and it deals 2 damage to them. So it's very strong. Plus, whenever the counterattack dies as a torch, it also targets all enemies in range of 3, damage them for 3 focus and gives them and regenerates 1 health. Okay? Now, if you want to move onto this layer, there are these spaces that are basically the layer doors. So you can spend a movement from the layer door to the first space of the layer. And then this is basically 1 space of movement every time. Inside the boss layer, you can only kill and attack everything that is inside the boss layer. So if the Gorgon is not inside the boss layer, you can't really attack it. Goblin can move inside the boss layer. They will go at the center, so they would be attackable by anybody in the boss layer. Vice versa, if the Gorgon is in the boss layer and a hero is not in the boss layer, you can't attack the Gorgon. Same with the Goblin and everything, okay? But these spaces give you good bonuses or bad bonuses. The first 2 give you bad bonus because they make you roll 1 less die when you do a skill check, but the second will give you +2 for strength. The third is gonna give you +2 focus if you stop there immediately. This is gonna give you +2 intellect for each roll, and this is gonna give you +2 agility for each roll. So going to the boss layer can be very beneficial. But you can't do immediately because you need to drag the Gorgon into the altars. How do you do that? You might wonder. Like, how do I make the Gorgon move there? Do I just need to time how I move around? Well, not really, because now we're gonna flip this mat to the Act 2 side. Okay? And the Act 2 side has a special action, and this is the special action. It's a free action which is called Taunt. You spend 2 focus to move the boss up to its movement towards you, basically. So you can make the boss move in your direction, and you can do this action as many times as you want. The Gorgon only has 2 movement, so this means that we will have to do it a bunch of times probably to make the Gorgon move in a room that we want, but hey, that's how it is. And we restart with the torch in the 2 space of the two characters space of this Act 2 map now. Okay, so that's basically it. This was Grokal's turn. I don't even know where Grokal went. Okay, here. And now it is our mage turn, our wizard's turn. Gerrund, the blue. Gerrund, what are you going to do? So Gerrund might want to spend some focus to start moving the Gorgon next to him. Or do we want to save the focus for... No, I think we actually want... we kind of want Grokal to kill... Grokal to kill the stabby goblin, don't we? Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We want him to kill the goblin because we want him to get back his great axe of the bear. So this guy is going to 1, 2. Will he move inside with the stabby goblin? Doesn't make that much sense. This is hard because I don't know what I want to do, because I want Grokal to be able to kill the goblin there. So I think we're gonna have to wait a little for all the activity. Where is the stabby goblin gonna move? It's gonna move to the closest. So I think what we're gonna do is... Oh, we can move this way. No, we can't. Because otherwise it's gonna move towards... What if we use elemental charge? Let's try to use elemental charge. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Oh, but wherever he lands, it's gonna deal 2 damages, which is gonna kill the stabby goblin. This is not good. We need some sort of teleport. Is there a teleport? There are some cards that do the teleport. I think we're gonna have to move inside the room, with the room, together with the goblin. That's what we have to do, and then we can simply rest. So we're gonna go back to full, and that's what we're gonna do. Now this moves down, which means the stabby goblin is gonna attack our friendly Gerrund, dealing him 2 damages because it's -1 multiplied goblin +1. So we only have 1 goblin, so it's 2. And this is going to move out of the lair inside with Grokal and deal both him and Gerrund 2 damages because it's up to 3 spaces. So 2 damages, 2 damages. Suddenly Gerrund is not doing very well. Now it is Grokal's turn. I forgot to keep moving this. now it's Grok's turn, and he's gonna attack. No, he's not gonna attack the Gorgon. Easy? No, he's gonna attack the Stabby Goblin. 1, 2, 3. And he's gonna attack the Stabby Goblin. How much does he need? A 3. He needs a 3, so he succeeded. You know what? He's gonna spend 2 to roll this 5 up to a 6. He's gonna use this 5 to attack the Stabby Goblin, who's gonna die, and he can get back the loot, which is its Great Axe of the Bear, which is amazing. And so this is dead, and then he can get back 2 focus and 1 health. So 2 focus and 1 health. Now we move down. We spawn another, how's it called? Goblin here. Amazing. It's a Stabby Goblin once again. But this is good because I think what Gerrund the Blue now is gonna do is try to cast his magic arrow on him, and this is gonna give him 3 health back if he kills it. So let's do that. We need a 6. We didn't get a 6. I didn't roll the red die, but it's fine because we're gonna spend 2 focus to roll this up to 5. What is it? Ah, where are you? So we get, this is a 6. We get up a focus because we succeeded, and we killed the Stabby Goblin once again, another Stabby Goblin, and the loot for the Stabby Goblin can be to get 3 health back. Okay, so we're gonna get 3 health back now, and now what is going to happen is that we go down, the boss activates. Oh, we can move with Gerrund the Blue if we want, and I think we're gonna move here. Actually, we're gonna go, no, we need to go through this. So we're gonna move there, try to survive the 6 fire. Let's see if we can do that. Yes, we get 5 plus 2, so we actually get a focus back, and then we're gonna move here, in this room here. So what is going to happen, as I said, is that the boss is gonna activate. He's gonna move 2 spaces, but only 1 really, and he's gonna attack both of them, dealing them 2 damages each, 2 and 2. And now it was Gerrund's, now it's back to Grok's turn. What Grok is gonna do is run away. So it's gonna use Taunt. I could have used that. Well, I didn't think about that. It's fine. So he's gonna taunt the Gorgon for 2, so that the Gorgon goes on the altar, and the altar is completed. So we don't need to worry about that anymore. He's gonna attack with the Great Axe of the Bear. It's probably gonna get unconscious, won't it? Would it be better to make him rest? Because the Gorgon is surely gonna give him quite a bit of damage, because that's a melee attack. So it better rest, I think. 5 and get up to full focus. And then it's gonna move 2 times there. Okay. Now Gerrund blue. Now we go down. Now it's Gerrund's turn. Gerrund is gonna move 1, 2, 3 inside the lair, the boss's lair. He could actually first, no, and he's gonna rest too. So back to full health. I know it seems like I'm wasting a lot of rounds, but I want to drag the monster back into the lair so that I can actually do a lot of bad stuff inside there. And he's gonna spend, no, first he's gonna spend 4 focus, 1, 2, 3, 4 to taunt the boss 1, 2, 3, 4 inside the lair, and then he's gonna rest and get back all his focus. And that is good. That's fine. Now the boss is gonna activate, but he's only gonna attack Gerrund the blue, who's gonna lose 2 health right now. And now it is our Grokal's turn. So he's gonna move 1, 2. He can only move 2, unfortunately, but can he do anything to increase his movement? No, I don't think he can. So he's gonna have to attack only with 2 dice this time. He's gonna attack the Gorgon with only 2 dice. Is this a very stupid idea? Probably, but we're in it, so. Oh boy. At least he rolled a 2. So we have a 3. 3 plus 3. It's a 3 plus 3, so it's a 6. We can make it to an 8, spending 3 focus. And I think we need to do that. So that's really an 8. So the Gorgon takes 2 damages. Not as good as I was expecting, unfortunately, but now the Gorgon is gonna counterattack for 2 plus 4, which is 6. He has 3 armor, so he's gonna take 3 damage. Down to 2. Oh no, he's gonna be unconscious, won't he? No! It's not going, it's not looking great. Now we spawn a goblin here, which is gonna be a boomy goblin. Hopefully it doesn't get into the lair in time. And it is time for Gerrund blue. Gerrund is gonna move 1, 2, 3. So it's gonna move in this room with the intellect plus 2. And he's gonna try to cast the fireball spell. He's gonna have to spend 6 focus, unfortunately, but 4 damage is a lot. So let's try to do that. Oh well. 5, 4, 4. So we can use the 5 because we only need a 7. And then we can get back 2 focus. Oh, but we really can't. Yeah, it's pointless. So we get a 5 plus 2. So we succeed. We spend 6 focus to deal 4 damage to the Gorgon. And this goes to 2. Now the problem is that the Gorgon is gonna activate. And it's gonna make unconscious our Grokal, which will have to rest. And also the Boomy Goblin is gonna activate and move once towards the lair. Unfortunately, Grokal will have to rest. So 1, 2, 3, and 5 focus. And he's gonna have to move. He can move twice, so he can move to the space that we actually originally wanted. Now the torch goes down. It is Gerrund the blue turn, and he can only rest. So he's gonna rest and get back up to 6, so next time he can cast the fireball again. And now the problem is that this is gonna activate every single time. So we only really have 2 turns to make this happen. So now the Boomy Goblin is gonna activate, and the Gorgon is gonna activate and deal 2 damage to each of them. Grokal is probably gonna perish trying to do this attack, but at least now he has all his dice and he has a +3, +2. So it's +5, potentially +7. Okay. That's not amazing. So this is the 6 plus 7. Let's say 6 plus 7 is 13. Right? Because if we... So we're gonna spend 3 focus here to get another +2. So +2 is 4. +3 is... but I also get a +2 from here. So, rewind. It's a 6. We're gonna start with a 6. 6 plus 2, 8. Plus 3, 11. Plus 2, 13. Plus 2, 15. 15 minus the defense of the Gorgon, which is 6, is 9. 9 damage, and we needed to do 10. So this goes, and this goes to 1. We needed 1 more damage. It's fine. We're gonna accept it. He's gonna take, unfortunately, 2 damage back, which wouldn't even be bad because this means equal to the armor. So the armor plus... no, he takes 4 damage back. Never mind. He's unconscious. And now we go down. He activates again. The Boomy Goblin moves. It's 1 away from the lair. This moves down to Gerrund Blue, so he's at 1 health. And he only has 1 real chance to activate the fireball. We need a 5. If we get a 5, we kill the Gorgon, we win. If we don't get a 5, we lost. Because they're gonna be both unconscious, and the Gorgon is gonna activate every single time and draw them, make them unconscious over and over. So, and also we only have 2 rounds anyway, so we need a 5. Please, a 5. Yes. So it's a 4 plus 1, which is a 5. 5 plus 2, because we are in this room, it's a 7. We were trying to cast the fireball. 7, so we can spend 6 focus, which is exactly what we have to deal 4 damages. Honestly, we could have casted the magic arrow. What was I doing that? We would have casted the magic arrow, so that would have been only 2. I only would have needed 4. Could have gotten some focus back. I think we were pretty okay. And the Gorgon is defeated, dead. Ugh. Splashing in all the... This looks like more like a Medusa. Splashing in like blood. Snake blood. Disgusting snake blood. Everywhere. Anyways, this was a stupidly long video. This was not what I expected at all. So sorry about that. But this was Tiny Epic dungeons. I want to remind you that if you liked this video, please click like, subscribe. I know you can't see my face, but subscribe, activate notification for whenever I post more videos. I'm gonna play more Tiny Epic Dungeon. It's not gonna be Krokal, it's not gonna be Gerrund, it's not gonna be the Gorgon, it's gonna be other stuff. I'm gonna play more. I think I really like this game actually. It's very tight, as you've seen. We risked like, it's very tight. We were really like on the edge every single time. I probably messed up in a bunch of times. Can you please let me know in the comment section so that I can say, yeah, I won but I cheated. So that's probably what happened anyways. And this dungeon is like immense. What can I say? I thank you very much for being with me. I wish you a good day, good night for me. And I tell you, ciao. Ciao ciao. Ciao ciao.